Don't look at me.
What are you doing?
I'm just holding the trophy, bro. Pause. Damn.
Good morning, my friends. You're watching Everyday Struggle. I'm Nadeska. I'm here with Akademiks and Wayno. How you guys
How are
feeling?
you doing today?
Fantastic, Ak.
Doing well. My voice is a little bit better.
It's a lot better, actually. I'm surprised.
Oh, you want
Yesterday you sounded like Christian Bale in Dark Knight.
Wow.
You want me to get back on the Quiet Storm shit then?
I liked it, actually. Talking about humanity. It's a different side of academics.
Man, like, you know, little growth development.
His voice, he having fucking throat problems now. He want to talk about humanity.
Pause. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I don't like how Wayno said. Wayno, I only say pause because of you.
Girl?
Like, you know, you came on the show, like, I would be trying to make a point at midpoint. Yo, pause. Whoa, whoa.
Yeah, but
hey,
you still don't really know how to pause correctly.
Nah, I just gotta.
Every once in a while, you get
Why
it.
is he mentioning my throat? I'm just pausing it just in case.
Why is he mentioning
Why
my
you
throat?
mentioning it?
See?
All right,
Moderate,
man.
man.
All right, man. Look, there's still a few days left in Black History Month. So today, we want to honor some new people. I think, Ak, you can go first. Who do you got today? Last week, you did Bob Marley. Who's your pick today?
Gotta be honest, man. My man, Marcus Garvey. And you might see a little trend with me picking two Jamaicans. So, you know, don't do that. Don't snicker at me. Don't do that. But I do want to say, you know, I had to pick him because while we were talking about picks yesterday, and I said to Wayno, I was like, did you know he was Jamaican? Wayno didn't know, which kind of made me.
That was me. That was me.
Oh, it was you?
Me and
I
Wayno
did
are
know.
basically
Oh, no,
the same people because we're black. Yeah, no. I've heard of Marcus Garvey. I know their school's named after him and stuff. I didn't know he was Jamaican.
Well, the reason why I picked him.
Why are you treating us like we're rappers, bro?
No, I'm just saying the reason why I picked him is because maybe like the information about him isn't known as it should be. You know what I mean? I think he was a very powerful man. You know, he came from a third world country, but you know, a lot of his ideas and his ideology really spread into the Northeast, just like in terms of countries, and really inspired black people to do better. You know, like he's one of the people, even though he came from a really poor country, at least at that time, even still now to a certain extent, he was preaching that, like, to keep it real, like liberation for African American people, or just African people or people from Africa, is you had to look towards securing money and wealth. And again, you know, now we kind of realize, like, you know, maybe escaping certain social classes, of course money does help, but like having and securing a social economic structure for people who are oppressed, that's how you really get your opinions and you represented in whatever. You get me? Not just only having numbers. If you don't have no socio-economic power, a lot of times you get ignored. So, you know, that's one of the reasons I fuck with him, and that's one of the reasons I felt like it was important to highlight him as, you know, one of the prominent figures for Black History Month.
Thank you, Ak.
Dope.
Wayno last week picked Freddie Figures.
Yeah, I picked Freddie Figures. This week I picked Regina King. Reason why I picked Regina King is just looking at her career. She's had a career since she was a child. I mean, on 227 she was a kid, then going into movies, like, you know, winning awards, being in Poetic Justice, directing films and music videos, doing the voices for Riley and Huey on Boondocks. You know, to most recently she did Watchmen, which I feel like she's definitely going to win some awards for. I just wanted to highlight a person that was an entertainer, but people might have not known how long she's been in the game and how she's transcended over the years. Like, she's done so much, and it kind of makes you have a real respect for a person who starts as a kid and doesn't fall into any scandals. Like, we've never heard any stories about her in the media of her having crazy situations with drug usage, stuff like that. So just to see how long she's been in the game and that she's still continuing, and I feel like she's, like, with acting, I don't even know when you hit your prime, for real. Like, you know, it's look at Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
He's been the same age since he started, right? The people who joke about that, but just to see how long people can stay in the game for the long haul, that's why I picked Regina King. She's the epitome to me of tenaciousness and endurance.
Yeah, I almost kind of like forget that, like, her part of the Boondocks is such a thing of its own. I be forgetting the people who actually voice the characters.
Yeah, right,
Like,
exactly,
yo,
right.
Like,
right,
you
right.
actually think about the characters like
Being
they're-
people.
Yeah, they're people themselves.
Right.
So that's dope.
But working with John Witherspoon, I mean, she worked with John Witherspoon on Friday and worked with John, and people don't like see the correlation between that, because he plays Pops on a cartoon, but he also plays Pops in Friday. You know what I'm saying? With her first Friday. I mean, she's just had a tremendous career. That's why I wanted to highlight her.
Regina King. Okay, I picked someone this week who works a little bit more behind the scenes, but I feel like they've had a very big impact on culture. I picked Shonda Rhimes. So she has a big production company called Shondaland. And if you're not familiar with her by name, you know her work. So she created shows like Grey's Anatomy, Scandal, like she gave us the legendary Olivia Pope. I think she executive produced How to Get Away with Murder.
Yeah, that's my show.
Yeah, yo, it's crazy. So she worked with ABC for like 15 years, and there was a point in time where she just dominated Thursday night. Like every show on in prime time, she had a hand in, and I think it was like those shows at the time were getting between like 12 million to 6 million views like per show all in one night, and they branded it like Thank God It's Thursday for marketing. It was like a really fucking big deal.
Wow.
Especially for her to be a black woman. I think that's really, really incredible. In 2017, she signed this big like production deal with Netflix, so she moved the company over there. She's been working on 8 shows, I think, and I think the first one comes out this year. So just props to Shonda Rhimes, bro. That's crazy. That's like a big impact.
Shonda Rhimes, that's fire.
Yeah.
That's dope.
All right, let's see. Now we get into the drama. So look, for a few years, a lot of fans really felt like Big Sean and Kendrick were going back and forth with the subliminals on The Heart Part 4 and also in no interviews. Now, Big Sean doesn't talk very much. Kendrick's definitely not going to address this in any interviews, so we haven't heard anything from them. But Big Sean is finally speaking. So he actually sat down with Joe Budden for his pull-up series, and here's what he had to say.
Kendrick been in my house before. He done came over, chilled at my house. He done invited me to his mama's house in Compton. You know what I'm saying? Big Sean, Kendrick, beef was going on. It was something I wish I would have spoke up about because there was nothing. And when I say nothing, bro, I'm not even bullshitting you. Because you were one of the main people who were pushing the narrative. I'm like, what part they talking about? And they like, oh, this part. I'm like, okay, so I immediately hit up Top. Because I got a relationship with Top. And they like, no, it ain't about you. It ain't about you at all. He like, that was just an addressing to everyone. Like, but don't listen to the internet. They just gonna throw 100 on it. They just gonna throw 200 on it. I'm like, all right, for sure. And I have that conversation. I'm like, all right, I don't even gotta reach out to Kendrick. It got to a point where somehow it was just a weird tension between me and him, even though it was already said it wasn't no beef because people made it that way, right?
Okay, so do you guys feel like the internet invented this whole storyline and pushed it with the help of Joe, I guess, according to Big Sean?
I'm gonna keep it real. Like, yo, the internet is of course, the classic and most like prominent, at least what I know, in terms of like fanning the flames. But something got to be there for it to be fanned. You feel me? Like, you know, I do believe while they might not have beef, I do believe there was some competitiveness there. In terms of they were on a track where people were very vocal about. And if Sean, even if he said it to my face, I would be like, I still don't believe it. I believe that deep down after Control, where the narrative, it's not only by fans, it's by every motherfucker in the world. They said, Kendrick, wash out too. We didn't listen to no Big Sean, even if it was your song. We didn't care about Jay Electronica. Kendrick's that nigga.
Right.
I do believe that's the reason why to me, I felt he got the best of Kendrick on Hoodie Key. That's what I believe, right? I also believe certain lines was kind of addressing that, maybe even if it wasn't getting at Kendrick. So I do think it's competitiveness. But competitiveness and beef, there's 2 different things.
Right.
Beef means I don't like you, nigga. Competitiveness means like, wait, like, yeah, he does his thing, I do my thing, but you think he's better than me? I bet. Let me show y'all how stupid y'all are for that, or let me show you how good I am. That's not beef to me, but of course that competitiveness. So I agree with them on that, like maybe competitiveness in rap sometimes, because it's a sport where you show a lot of machismo. Like it could be seen as issues and it could be seen as beef, but I do think there's a way where like, yo, 2 lyricists, they compete. And whether it's competing directly or competing for the favor of the fans, it's still competition. So if he says there was none of that, where like he thought about it and he was rapping a little bit different, I don't believe him. I don't care if he was here. I don't believe him.
I think Kendrick has wanted a lyrical problem with everybody, but nobody really wants to go there with him. And I know we joked about it before when I said I think we said
so?
it. Yeah, I think that he wants. I think that at one point or another, he's always threw the fishing rod out there to see who will bite. And like when Meek did what was the shit that Meek did?
When you responded to Control? But it was like joking kind of, right?
He was joking, but I don't think, and this is just my own, in my mind, making up my own shit in my head. I don't think that Kendrick believes that Meek could fuck with him, so he didn't put no effort into it on some rapping shit. I think that, yeah, like even with the Control verse, like he didn't say it, he said it playfully. He didn't say it to be malicious, but he don't give a fuck how it's taken either.
Wait, hold on. Because I think that point you made it's a point of debate. So you think that he's been trying to say who want any issue?
Yeah, but he's not deliberately saying I'm a fucking just right out dish you because he doesn't have a reason to. But I think as far as when it comes to being competitive and lyrical exercise, yeah, I think he hasn't had a one of those. Every one of the great artists has had that, and he is the only person who.
But you think he would actually do it, engage in a public back and forth like Drake and
No, I don't think that he would do it.
I think he'll do lyrical back and forth. I don't think he would want it to be problems because the reason why I doubt what you say and you can respond to this is because the reason why Drake and him, like, remember Drake was in his. I remember Drake
was in his feelings about.
Drake was in his feelings, and he was like, "Yo, I just don't get it where you'll mention my name in the song or whatever, and then you'll tell me, oh, ain't no problems, like, or ain't no whatever." Yeah. And maybe Drake didn't interpret it as, hey, bro, he's rapping, rap back, right? But like Drake thought it was like, okay, so if you're calling me out like that, maybe there's an issue. Yeah. And according to him, he said Kendrick ain't really want it.
So this is the thing, though. How can he have a lyrical back and forth without it getting to another level? If people like Drake, someone at Drake's level, who's one of the most successful rappers of all time, he's taking it personal.
No, listen, listen, man. And this is what from what I heard. This is just shit I heard back when Drake and Meek was going through their shit. Like Kendrick wanted he wanted to see what was going to happen so he could have his take on it. And I could be wrong.
He didn't respond to nobody though.
He didn't. He didn't. But what I'm saying is,
Hope you responded to him.
I don't think that he's the artist that will do it publicly where he's doing interviews about it, nothing. But as far as putting it on a track where you gonna have that conversation, yo, can he fuck with Kendrick or not? He definitely wants that. And I think he just pokes. Everybody thinking he's too nice, yo. He's not as nice as everybody thinks. So you really think
the right person responding to him with a good enough song, he would engage?
Man, absolutely. He pokes at niggas.
I'm gonna tell you I hate this conversation.
Why?
This is the fucking LeBron slam dunk contest conversation. Yo, he's one of the best dunkers ever, but we never saw him win a slam dunk. He never did it.
Yeah, but
no, that's right. Exactly. I know you're saying, but like it's that same thing. Like we think. It's like you're projecting what, and I do for Cole and him.
TDE don't think. Wait a second.
Bro,
I'm not putting nobody.
If both Kendrick and Cole's career ended, we ain't seen none of y'all in no battle. Let's keep it true.
We haven't, but I'm just saying. What I'm saying is this: you think that as good as Kendrick knows he is as a rapper, that he never wanted a problem with nobody? That he's just making all these positive songs about we gonna be all right and all that? That nigga want problems with niggas.
Well, he should have got him lyrically. Even Eminem, who be retired, getting that niggas lyrically. Like, get at them lyrically.
Yeah,
straight up.
But I just think
like,
that
we do get him a pass for that.
He just nobody's bit. I think he fishes for it, but he's not blatant. He's not blatant. He throws little shit in there. That's why, why would we be saying this shit about Big Sean? Because he was saying boy and shit. Like, you know what I mean? He was using it a certain way. Now, he might have not necessarily been doing it there, and I know artists got their own fucking relationships behind the scenes, but I do think that he pokes at niggas.
So what do you think Kendrick is looking for? Because I think Sean has put enough little things in the mix that by now Kendrick should have responded. Like,
nobody
no more interviews.
Do you think he wants somebody to say his name though?
Yes.
Hold on. Who's Big Sean talking about?
Wait.
I can't even shout you.
Y'all know Punch. Listen, wait a second. Y'all know Punch and all these niggas from TDE. You think that they not sitting in the fucking A room in they studio like, yo, I dare one of these niggas to do it with you. I dare them.
But I feel like niggas have taken subtle shots. All right, kick the door open.
But he's saying it shouldn't be that subtle then.
That's what I'm saying.
But he's taking subtle shots.
He takes subtle shots. No, listen.
He's not direct.
Bro, he's not direct, and I don't even think he's so like, he's not even a fucking subber. Like, he don't even like sub well. But I do think that he would really want it with somebody.
So Drake clearly had feelings. If he wasn't just complaining about it behind the scenes and he really responded, that would have been
Drake said something, he would have did. Yo, I'm not saying he would have won.
He should have dropped the track on Drake.
Listen, I'm not saying.
He should have been dropped.
What I'm saying is,
and I ain't gonna lie to you, I got Drake on that.
listen, because of history.
I rock with niggas who are battle tested.
Because of
even though
history,
Drake is the
listen,
most.
because history tells us that Drake is good in these situations, except for once. I believe that Drake would get the best of him too, but I don't think that Kendrick is not afraid of that. And it's now we're gonna be painting the narrative for a new Kendrick beef. But I'm just saying, I don't think he's afraid of it.
I feel like though, you know, like
I've always felt like this about that nigga.
No, I've felt like though the thought of him destroying someone because he's so great lyrically might be better than if he was in the situation, because like what we're thinking would happen may be better than what would actually happen.
I don't think so.
On Kill My Vibe remix, you don't think that he felt it when everybody was saying he had the better verse than Jay, and I said he got a better verse than Jay.
I own it now.
He can, but that's what I'm saying. You think that he never? And I'm just fucking playing fantasy football right now. You think he never sat back like, I dare one of these niggas to play with me?
I'm surprised you picked Drake though in this battle.
I do, but only
I wouldn't give it to him that easily.
The only, and I don't think it would be easy. The only reason why I picked Drake is because Drake has a history. That's what I'm saying. Drake has a history, but Kendrick is fucking rap.
But if what Wayno's saying is right, that he's just been sitting back in the cut waiting for years for someone to challenge him, you can't just give it to him.
Now I don't think he would do it now, but at a point in time.
And even though I'm bringing up a loss even for Drake, like, okay, fine. Yo, with the whole thing with Pusha T, we can say he lost the battle, but to be honest, I still felt like he responded really well.
He did respond well
to the best of his ability when he came out and he punched first with Duppy Freestyle, right? What I'm saying is that as great of a rapper Kendrick is, we haven't seen those executions in those moments that we because
but
honestly
never had to have one though.
Meek is like,
he's the only person.
I don't care how people be like, oh, Meek reacted so bad in the battle or when it was time when we needed something from him, but Meek's a really good rapper. Let's really put that on the table. But the execution wasn't there, and that really goes a long way.
Yeah, but I think Kendrick has showed us that he knows how to execute things.
Yo, I just think,
I don't know when the pressure on when niggas is picking sides.
We could go about
niggas picking sides.
We could go about this all day, but I just really believe in my heart of hearts that nigga has sat back more than a few times and just wait and wanted somebody to do it, and he's fish. Look,
I think Big Sean has done it.
But look, even with the control verse, even real quick, even with the control verse, yeah, he said what he said, but he wanted somebody to jump out the window. He didn't just, he's just like, oh, I'm just trying to take their fans. No, he wants somebody to jump out the window on him, and I don't think he's felt like anybody's been worthy of doing it. So at this point, he'll probably leave it alone.
When Big Sean said on no more interviews that y'all are fans of niggas who just rap fast but don't say a bunch of shit, he was talking shit. I don't care what he says. Like, niggas ain't gonna be on no fucking pull-up saying, nah, oh yeah, of course I was like, no, he's gonna deny it. But he was talking to Kendrick and the followers of niggas like Kendrick. He was basically saying, all y'all niggas who thought I got watched on these songs with Kendrick, y'all are impressed by niggas who rap fast but don't say shit. To me, that's fighting words. To me, you gotta get that smoke on the record.
Okay, Pastor Act. Good.
You gotta get that smoke on the record. To me, we should have seen Kendrick give that nigga a strong 220.
I would love to see it. I'm not saying between him and Sean, but unfortunately, whenever that happens, it's like personal problems.
Yeah,
like problems really happen. If it could just happen just in music, and then they can make up like Tory Lanez and Joyner, cool. That would be amazing, like, just for the sport of it, for the fans.
It's too much on the line at that level. Where, like, I think even Meek and Drake realized, like, of course they had really, like, some issues between them, but, like, once you start going back and forth with somebody else who's popular and you're popular, your fans choose sides. Like, you could ask mad Meek fans that when they squash the beat, they're like, oh, I could like Drake now? Oh, yeah, cool, we back, all right, we back. But, like, niggas gotta choose sides, and, like, unfortunately, when, in a battle, especially, like, think about Pusha and Drake, we celebrate some of the most personal stuff being, the lines being crossed. You get me? So that's where the problem is gonna start.
I just hate battle rap now. I mean, not even just, not battle rap as like battlers, but I just was maybe a week ago just going back and just listening to all types of old, you go down a wormhole, you start getting them algorithms, they give you every fucking rap. And I'm just like, yo, Doug, like, niggas been crossing lines, man. Like, fucking Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, man, Dre Day was a fucking diss to Ice Cube and Eazy-E. Like, they've been crossing lines, and now all of a sudden, oh, you can't say this, you can't.
Things are a lot
say
different,
that.
We're super PC, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But let's see. We can end by saying that we all want some new music from Kendrick. It's been a minute. We're waiting.
Right.
And we have sort of a related fan question. Let's see. Aliens from the Dirt says, everyday struggle. Why do you think we don't see the likes of Drake and Kendrick collabing, or Kid Cudi and Wale, or Cole and Big Sean? I feel like those rappers came up together, did songs early on, and now you barely see them together. Is it the competitive nature? I think of these, the most recent we've seen is probably Kendrick and Cole work together.
I don't think it's a competitive nature. I just think that people grow apart. You know, like you start out with certain people, and another thing is that these motherfuckers start making money. When they start making money, like a person like a Kendrick, we don't see much. He lives in his own world. Cole, same way. I think that their missions change when it's first starting out like that. Like, yeah, it's like, yo, let's all do this together. I remember fucking, who is it? French Montana got a song with J. Cole and Rick Ross on it and shit, and Swiss Beats. Like, you're not gonna see none of that stuff no more because they've done it already. Like, everybody wants to see that from them, but they've done it already. So I think that when they did these things, they're special times. If it's not a special moment, they're not making songs again.
Okay.
They don't spend too much time around each other like they used to.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think, you know, us as hip-hop fans, we believe like this, you know, when, again, we had that, the new clash, or this is a new school or whatever, like, we kind of lump them into kind of like having some association with each other. Like, really, them niggas don't, like, they don't really know each other like that. Like, to keep it trill, like, you know, some of them do. Yeah. Like, you know, Drake and Cole, they always had, they had an interesting relationship, but like, they weren't all, like, some of these other dudes, like, they were only, if they did a record together, it's because they probably needed each other at that moment. Hey, you have this audience, I got this audience. Like, you know, you can say Cudi and someone else who probably has a different type of audience. Okay, let's do that in the beginning. Right. But at this point, all these dudes are established. It's like, I don't need to go in your lane for any reason, just like you probably don't need to come in my lane. And also, like, you know, I think as fans, like you said earlier in the show, is like, in terms of, we look at a lot of shit like fantasy football, you would think that, like, the artists just want to make these moments for fans. Yeah. That's not really what it is. Like, they're just trying to make records. Right. You know what I mean? They're not like, yo, I know the fans literally just want me to do, like a 5-minute song, like Cole saying, like 5-minute song with Drake, I gotta make it happen, where we just rap back and forth and they could pick what's the best, just like the Jodeci freestyle. Yeah. No, they're like, yo, if it happens, if we connect and if we're in the same space, cool. If not, fuck it. Right. Sure. And I really just think that's what it is. You know, us as fans, we want to see more of those collabs, because that's really ground for conversation of, yo, who's better and who did this or who did what, but I don't think artists.
But in history, as artists have always reached different points, they always stop working together. That's not a new thing.
They tease us every once in a while, though. Like, Kendrick and Cole definitely tease that joint project that's not ever gonna come out.
Reason and Kaz are doing it, though.
Okay.
They're doing a Dreamville, like, TDE thing, I believe. Like, they trying to do something together.
Let's see.
But they're at, like, you know, an early stage in,
the same way how they were. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Why'd you say Drake and Cole have an interesting relationship? Cole used to show up for OVO Fest, I feel like, for a few years in a row and performed. They said they were light-skinned brothers.
Yeah, no. Not, when I mean interesting, nothing on the negative side, but like we've seen them support each other, but like we don't see them on every one of their projects. On every Drake project, you don't see Cole, right? You know, like, I think that's the camaraderie that fans expect. Like, oh, we're gonna see that song with Cole. No, like, I think they genuinely support each other's career, and that has manifested, whether it was like a vlog where you see them going to copy each other's album first day out, or, you know, he'll pop up on stage and be like, yo, that's my brother. But it's not like, oh, because we're cool and we're like top rappers, y'all gotta see us on every
they're not in a group
collab
together.
Yeah, we don't gotta we don't gotta put out a single together and just be like, yo, it's me and Cole, you know? Nah, that's not it. You know?
All right. Let's see, the fall off is coming sometime this year. All right, so let's get into an album review. You guys remember we had A Boogie on the show last week, and he dropped his new album, Artist 2.0. So this is the follow-up to Hoodie Season, which we got in 2018. 20 songs on this one. It's fairly long, but he said it was the perfect length. He's got features from people like Young Thug, Roddy Ricch, Gunna, and Uzi. What'd you guys think?
I really like this album. You know, I think, first of all, I see a lot of people say this album is okay. I like this album, and my only critique about it is that maybe a little bit too long. Might be a little bit too long. I think some of the songs, even though he says it was perfect length, might be there to probably bolster like streaming numbers or whatever, and he's doing real good streaming wise. But some of the songs that I fuck with, like in terms of singles, like, you know, of course I love Mood Swings. Like that was the first song we heard from it. I really enjoy that song. The guitar song, really like that song.
He changed one of the titles because of you, like you said he would,
he
right?
really did.
He really
Yeah, he
changed
did
it.
change
What was it called?
numbers.
Antisocial.
Antisocial.
Yeah, he changed the
Gangsta?
I didn't know what an antisocial gangster was.
Yeah, he really changed it.
Now he did change it, but like you know, kind of going through this album, I think you're seeing like an evolution and a maturation of Boogie and like his sound, and like for me, like it's those songs like the one he got with Might Not Make It with Young Thug. This is fire. The guitar song. Honestly, I like some of the cuts, or they might be singles later. I like those more than the singles he put out. You get me? I love Mood Swings. King of My City, I thought was cool. The Reply joint, I thought it was, people really loved that more for the Uzi and Uzi and Boogie collab on that. They got another one which is like Love Is Art.
Yeah, Love Is
and,
Art. That's a good one.
And honestly, I like that more than Reply, truth be told. But I thought there was some other tracks in there that weren't as standout, but I do think it's a solid project overall. Like, I actually really like it.
Okay.
Okay. So, while I did enjoy this album, in a review space, I feel like he overthought it. I feel like he really overthought this album. Only because, like, I looked for him to do more of what he did before, and I understand that, like, okay, like he said, he was sitting here and he said, yo, somebody was playing Instagram, I heard 3 different songs and it was 3 different people, but they all sounded like me. I felt like because that's going on, he tried to go so far of what he usually sounds like that he kind of lost a little bit of his thunder on this shit. You know what I mean? Like I really feel that way. I mean, there's still good music on there. There's definitely good music on there, because I got a lot of phone calls from people saying they didn't like it at all, or they thought it was cool, or they thought it was the best shit. But my assessment of it, I do feel like it's really long. I feel like 20 songs is really, really long for him. But I feel like on a lot of the records, he's just like going so far, it's gonna take me a lot more listening to get used to.
I think, his big inspirations like Michael Jackson and a lot of the singing and melody. And he even said, like, I host his listen party, so he was saying, not listen party, it's release party. And he was saying that he has a song that again samples Michael Jackson that didn't come out yet. But that's kind of like the realm we were used to him being in. Maybe it's him, hanging out with Uzi a little bit too. Like, we saw a little bit more rock star Boogie on this one. But also, so I agree with you on like him kind of adjusting style a little bit. Yeah. But like, if you think about just how he put this project together, I feel like he definitely felt a little pressure from Hoodie season. Like, that shit was really well received. And it's the curse of saying, oh, that's just my mixtape, but then your mixtape is fucking amazing. Now you're at the album time. That shit is putting the pressure on you. Like, yo, how do you outdo that? Right. How do you outdo a record with Swervin', Star Tenders, Look Back at Me? Yeah. Like, how do you outdo that record that everyone loved? And it might be like, yo, hey, I might have to put a couple more records where maybe it's not this, but it's this. I'm trying to get the same type of reaction, but you're trying to do a little bit too much. Again, still super. I really like the project.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think
but
it's
if I had to compare it to Hoodie season, and again, we're literally 4 or 5 days in of it being released. Right. I'm still rocking with Hoodie season being my preferred album over this one. But you never know, things might change. I've been bumping that guitar song every single day.
Yeah, I mean, and the more you listen to things, you start to understand it a little bit more, from the artist. But I mean, it's not a bad album at all. I just felt like he kind of overthought it a bit. Okay,
and you said it's still streaming. While you want to take us through some numbers real quick?
Yeah, no, of course. Well, first of all, I'll start with projections. We got my man Justin Bieber Veli with his Changes album. He went crazy for that, the song Yummy. He was trying to beat Roddy Ricch. Couldn't get that #1 there, but he's clearly gonna get a #1 with the album Changes. Projected to do like over 300,000 first week. 200,000 of that is like pure raw sales. Then you have a Boogie who's gonna be undisputably the #2 album with Artist 2.0, and that's projected to do 130. His last one came out and did 99, or like right under 100.
90,
yeah, and this one clearly is gonna do better. Which, for any artist, when you see there's a step up in your sales and people consuming your music, that's a good thing. Right. And other than that, the box just keeps being #1. Like, I don't even gotta look at the card. The box keeps being #1. Drake and Future, they're still number 2, and it's been like that for 5 consecutive weeks.
Them at number 2, because a fan actually had a question about this song. They want to know if we think Life is Good is actually going to reach number 1.
I don't think so. I believe its shelf life of being the hottest, and they just dropped the remix. If it's not number 1 in the next week or so, remember what happened to Old Town Road? It bolstered it even more when it came to bolsters. My word today. I've been using.
You guys have been doing real. He said tenaciousness earlier.
I meant tenacity, though, trust me.
Tenacity. I didn't mean tenacity.
But like, when you look at like Life is Good, the remix just dropped. It has the Lil Baby on it. I think the way how they count it, they almost count the remix with the original. They'll just swap it out. It's the new finesse. It is the new finesse. And if Future can't beat Roddy with Drake, Lil Baby, and the Baby, this is like the fucking Avengers you've aligned to fucking dethrone the box. If you can't do it in the next, I'm gonna give him 2 weeks. It is over. But truth be told, a number 2 record that's lasted for over a month at number 2 is still a huge success. You know,
Absolutely.
number 1 is really just, of course, no one wants to be getting a consolation prize.
Right.
Okay. One more quick singles question. So remember.
By the way, I gotta mention it because I want the Barb say I'm like, like I'm dick riding or I'm fake. I gotta mention
Do
it.
it for the likes.
Nicki Minaj, all the barbs hit me yesterday like, what you say, bitch? Like, I thought you said Nicki wasn't. Hold up, relax.
They're talking about me because I said that her fans.
Relax. Nicki, yikes, did debut 23 on the Billboard charts.
Okay.
I remember I had said when we even had a little mini discussion about Nicki and Meek, they just went into a public spat and they both dropped music at the same time. Believe with Meek and also Justin Timberlake, I believe it debuted around 90 or so. Still good for, like in terms of how that single was put out. But I gotta say, this is my only challenge to the barbers who are watching. I always say Nicki debuts high, but then falls off like it never happened. So if she not on the charts in 4 weeks, I keep saying that. Y'all get her to debut good, but y'all don't keep her on the charts. You gotta keep her on the charts. The Box, been on the charts. It's number 1, 6 weeks. If Nicki ain't on the charts for 4 weeks, y'all a hype beast. Y'all only did it for that 1 week.
Pastor Act. It's like every time you say
Pastor
something
Act.
to appease them, then you say something to irritate them too. So remember when it dropped, she was saying it's just a promo single, not like an official single. So we have a fan question about it from Rita.
And Roger is having this YMCMB moment in my ear. He had to just, he said, oh, please, you got to mention that Nicki, Drake, and Wayne, they are the artists with the most charting Billboard Hot 100 singles. So congratulations to those 3.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so.
He low-key a barb. He might.
So Rita said, Yikes by Nicki Minaj is being promoted like a single, most added on radio, both lyric and audio vid. She started a TikTok challenge. It's on Queen Radio, major playlist placements like Rap Caviar, similar to songs like Roddy Ricch The Box. The only thing missing is an official music video. So my question is, what's the difference between a promo single and a regular single?
I'm gonna ask Wayno that. He works at a label. Like, what the fuck is it? I don't see no difference.
It's the same thing.
So I was gonna be like, yeah.
It's the same thing. You put it out, and if the shit starts carrying heat, then you start putting money into it.
So it's like the difference between a mixtape and an album.
Yeah, I mean,
basically.
it's the same thing. The same money spent. Like, it's all a perception. It's all perception. It's like, the mixtape is, hey, here's a body of work, but if it doesn't sell high, don't take it too seriously. You know what I mean? But then the album is the same amount of money spent on the same body of work, but we're gonna put more marketing dollars on it because you supported the mixtape a bit. But it's still an option. It's still part of their contract. So same shit.
Honestly, to that person, I would say just like maybe using a different example to help explain it. Like, it's like, I remember Drake on Rap Radar's like podcast just explaining how God's Plan became like the thing, and like we would all consider that as the single, right? He's like, yo,
That was
literally,
the single, right?
I was we were forced to kind of make it the single
Right.
because I didn't really think too much of it. But the fans' reaction to the shit, yeah, it's not a single. If this Yikes, she has a TikTok challenge. If the TikTok challenge gets it super virally, Nicki's gonna be like, okay, this is it.
Wait, so this is what I have. So Drake didn't think much of God's Plan being the single, but the nigga shot the video. I mean, the record took off, right? But then they shot the video giving out $1 million.
No,
that was after the fact.
No, but you gotta remember,
What?
the shit got leaked because he was talking about
yeah,
the
it
leak.
did get leaked.
It got leaked where some DJ, like I think it was Trippy's DJs playing in the club,
Right.
and the reaction to that, he was like, oh shit, like they're picking it from the snippet. It got to be the joint now.
Okay.
You get me? So like he
Makes sense.
He wasn't gonna make that like he wasn't putting out a fucking single with him and Trippie Redd, right? You know, but oh shit, I fuck with it like that. Fuck it, I'm putting it out.
How big would that have been for Trippie Redd? That'd have been crazy.
All right, so recently, legendary rapper Big Daddy Kane made an appearance on the Sherry's World podcast. He was asked who he thinks is the Kobe Bryant of rap, and here's what he had to say.
I don't know. What's the generation after Jay? I don't know. Would it be Eminem?
All right, Ak, I see you were thinking deeply while he was also
I am
thinking.
deeply. I am.
It's
Okay.
not a deep think.
I mean, I don't think there is a person unless
It
you
is.
have.
Lil Wayne, dog. You wouldn't consider Lil Wayne Kobe Bryant? Like Lil Wayne, first of all, Kobe Bryant, he played against Michael Jordan. He played against LeBron.
That's like an obvious
He played
answer.
against
Okay.
KD. He played against fucking Steph Curry. Like he played in every era. When I think about
I thought about this last night. I'm thinking about this. You thought this last night.
No, but when I think about Lil Wayne.
Okay, go ahead, Wayno. I'm gonna get this one.
All right, no, but when I think about Lil Wayne, I mean, his first album came out around, I think it was 99 or 2000, around that time. So he played in the golden era of hip hop when when Diddy and Mace was still around. You know what I mean? When the Locks, when New York was in its golden era and New Orleans made they stamp, they coined bling bling. Then in the early 2000s, he switches his style. Mid 2000s, he goes to be one of the best lyrical artists that is, drops classic albums, etc., and still puts out albums today. I say he's Kobe Bryant.
Okay,
I say Lil Wayne is Kobe Bryant.
nothing to debate here.
Wayno got this one. I'm gonna be honest. Like I was really thinking because this is how I look at Kobe. I look at Kobe as in when people say the Mamba mentality, we're talking about the ultimate competitor.
Right.
Like the person who thirsted, who desired, who needed to be number one. And like if we're not thinking about Wayne, I really was looking at that like, who wanted to be number one down to his very last shot? Like the last moment on the court. You're right. It's only Kobe's
Best rapper alive.
Like Lil Wayne is the only person that pretty much fits all that criteria. When you also think about Kobe, you think about, okay, we have Jordan. We all like almost unanimously say the GOAT, right? But like, of course, LeBron is having his time right now. But like, we kind of look at the next best thing to Jordan was Kobe. You get me? Or the person who kind of like emulated a lot of what Jordan did as Kobe. And if you look at, if we put it into rap terms and we say, Jay is like the Jordan, who emulated a lot of what Jay did?
Wayne.
You get me? So it makes sense. It makes sense.
And competitive-wise.
The Eminem shit it threw me off a little.
Yeah, he threw me off with that. But like competitive-wise, when Jay still had was putting out American Gangsta at this time, Wayne still went on record and said, "I'm the best rapper." Like,
hey,
you know what I mean?
Let's be honest. The Eminem of basketball. It's Larry Bird.
Why? Because he's white?
No.
Yes, it is.
I'm not racist.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. That's the only reason why you said that.
No, because I feel like he's one of the niggas who are really good at one thing.
You can't unsay it.
No, he's really good at one thing.
Unsay it.
No, look.
Larry Bird is only good at one thing?
Well, we know him for
Come on, Akademiks.
All right,
America
you'll get
2000.
just
Let's not do that.
Nigga, he's like known as like the fucking 3-point specialist, and you have M, despite his legend and all that, he's really
Steph
just
Curry
like
in 2 seasons hit more threes than Larry Bird did in his whole
Well, I'm just
career.
talking about perception.
All right.
I'm not gonna. You want me to call him? No.
Exactly.
Don't call him the Steph Curry. Hell
I'm
no,
just
nigga.
saying you only said it because he's white, but let's move on.
Lil Brain, Lil Brain.
It just made sense,
Lil
nigga.
Wayne, the Kobe
Lil
Bryant.
Brain. There's gonna be a rapper named Lil Brain if it's not already.
There's one.
Is?
You lit.
All
Lil
right.
Br-
Carry on, Nadeska.
There's no
Carry
rapper
on.
called Little Trash. You already know. Go ahead.
That should be a pause. Anyway,
Little Trash. Go ahead.
let us wrap. No, Lil Brain. Let's wrap with this one. Back to the conversation we were having earlier about people evolving their careers or not necessarily wanting to collaborate, even though the fans want it. So Tyler, the Creator, did a panel with Converse out in London recently, and they asked him if he ever thinks like Odd Future would come back together to put out a project. He said he's open to it, but he thinks everyone is kind of past it. He also said he didn't even feel like the Odd Future tapes were that good at the time. They could have done better, but the fans really liked it. So what do you guys think? We're past the point of an Odd Future tape anymore?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it happens with everybody. I mean, you see Bad Boy or like Rockefeller or Cash Money. You know what I mean? Like you would love to see them all collectively back together, but them steps ain't the same no more, man. Somebody might trip and fall. It's not the same. I mean, I would love to hear, like, right now, I would really love for Tyler to get Earl Sweatshirt to rap, because I just feel like he's totally missing everything he's dropping. And I think that'd probably be the only person that could do that, but he doesn't care for it. It's like, I mean, we moved on.
Shit's over, man. Fans gotta move past it.
Yeah, you gotta move past it. I mean, it would be great. It's like we seeing people talking about some Cudi and come on, that's 2008, bro.
Yo, nostalgia is one thing, but like some things you gotta let the legend and the legacy of it lie. Like I'm trying to remember the exact year when I was like, yo, I'm good off thinking or hoping that 50 and Game get back together and G Unit makes that tape and it heats it back up. Cause I really had that thought and that feeling as a fan of their movement for a long time. And then after a while you realize like, yo, that shit is over.
Right. Like
they're in different spaces. It wouldn't even sound the same. It would sound weird and also trying to recreate something straight off nostalgia rather than make something new for where y'all are now. You know, you're gonna end up with like, you know, it's like even fans who want like, or who wanted like, yo, we want Diplomats to make some shit again.
Perfect
You know,
example.
it's like, yo, what do you want to feel like, 2003 or 2005 or something like that? You might not get that feeling.
But the thing is,
they're different.
When the Diplomats finally did their tape or whatever, it was cool, but you like, damn, if they'd have did this 7 years ago, like, you know what I mean? It's like, they always wait till it's too late to do it. It's like, of course, who wouldn't want to hear Jay-Z and Beanie Sigel rap again? But like, he's past that, you know what I mean? Like, it's not the same anymore, so.
Hey, somebody had a really great tweet. I don't know if that was any of our like Big Facts or Big Facts or DS segment that we do, but it was like, yo, someone was saying, I can't remember who said it. They were like, yo, fans have to stop judging music based on how they feel at the moment. So if you're going through a breakup and that song hits, it's a classic.
It's impossible.
But if somebody drops the same, but honestly, that's where this comes from, right? You want
The feeling you have.
You want that feeling of how you felt when you were living life at that time and Odd Future was a thing, and you want them to go back to that moment that you could feel like you're back in that moment.
Right.
But their lives are much different. Like they can't recreate the same shit again. But of course, fans are gonna hold on to that hope. I'm glad he's doing shit like this because this is the reason why niggas is booing Drake. You feel me? Like you gotta take that idea out from fans, bring it to the back in the shed and shoot it and kill it. It's not gonna happen. Y'all think we gonna do another joint collab or some shit that I can feel good about? It's not gonna happen.
Act
Fuck
with
it.
the good finishes every segment today.
Pastor Ack. All right, at least we have the memories, yo. I'll say that. That's it. That's our show for today. Thank you for watching. We're gonna be back
Y'all
here.
heard Jay, y'all on my old, she gonna buy my old albums. Get out of here.
Bro, you had it. He just said you had a good close.
No, I
Yeah, you had to fuck it up.
Bro, we'll see you guys
It wouldn't
tomorrow
be Akademiks
on
if-
Everyday
Wait,
Struggle.
not